Hello and welcome to the third instalment of my Peugeot Traveller videos I've been making. I've got a few updates for you on a few things that I'd like to share. So the first being is at 5,500 miles I had the Adblue light come on the car, which was a bit surprising as I thought I was supposed to go about 12,000 miles between having to fill this up. So I've been looking into it, and what happens is that you need to put about 22.4 litres of Adblue into the car. Now, if the factory didn't put that amount in, then I guess I'm seeing obviously a result of that. So if they put in half as much, then maybe I'm covering half the distance. So what I'm going to do now is I've bought, if you have a look at this, I went onto eBay, and the cheapest I could find this, first one is a 20 litre drum, okay, which was £17, and then this is 10 litres, which was £10. Getting it any smaller than 10 litres isn't worth it. It just doesn't make any financial sense. It costs you more money for less, and I can use some of this later, I guess. Most of them, pretty much all of them, come with a little spout, so I've attached the spout here as well. Okay, just to show you what the light looks like, well, what you can expect when you start travelling. If you jump in there, I'll show you what happens when you... So it's quite a pronounced notification. Here you go. If you have a look at the display here, you should see a notification here. There's a light on the top left-hand side that says Adblue right there, and then you get a warning that startup isn't possible. The warning came on at 1,500 miles. I've travelled 200 miles, so obviously it's counting down now. So it is quite intelligent. Right. So this thing's going quite well now. I believe that one of these pipes here is probably passing air up through the hole to help balance this out. I found the best way of doing this is to use my 12-year-old daughter to hold it up. Thank you, Isabel. It's going quite well, but I tell you what, the weight of this thing and the amount of time you're going to spend doing this, you're really going to need something to hold it up on. Either that or just buy 10 litre drums of this stuff. But it does seem to be going quite quickly.
It's not that heavy when you have it on your knees.
Well, let's see how much how much we do manage to put in. So when this is done, it'll be 20 litres, and I'm hoping it'll take about a quarter of the 10 litre drum. Right, so after we poured about 16 litres in, it just spilled all over the floor. So I guess that's our full notification from the car. I can try a little bit more. Let's see if any more goes in. But it looks like it's only taken about 16 litres. So I guess maybe what, 6 litres left in the tank, and it gives you your warning. Still, it doesn't equate to the right amount of miles I was expecting to see. So here we go. Let's have a look. No, that's it. That's all done. What a mess everywhere. Hope this stuff's not going to ruin the paintwork. So it does say in the manual, obviously when you do this, to ensure you park on level ground, turn the engine off, and clean up after you. So I will do that right now. Right. Let's put the top back on. Okay. There we go. That's back on. All right, job done. What a mess. Let's go and see if the car likes it. Do you want to step in there? Let's see what happens. Okay, car, how do you like that then? Okay, Adblue light still on. Okay, let's be doing some sort of internal check. Surely not. Right, at this point I can tell you that immediately the car still displays the warning and the messages. Now it took about, I'd say about 10, maybe 20 miles of travelling before the lights eventually went out. So don't expect initially for you to see any difference. The car seems to take a while for it to actually, I don't know, process the extra Adblue in there. But so far it's all gone out and it's not returned, so I'm happy. Right, the next update for this video is going to be on iOS 11 and some of the new features that it brings to the satellite navigation, which is good for those of us that didn't opt for the satellite navigation and use our phones instead. Hello, I wanted to put together a short video of the updates that came with iOS 11 because, as most of you know, sat-nav systems never really get updated, and that when you buy them with a car, they just age with the car. But with the new generation of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, you can expect updates to the system as and when your phone's updated. So at the moment, if you look here, this is iOS 11, and there are a few changes. First of all, the information screen has a wealth of more information than it did before. So as you can see, I'm about to come off the M1.
Exit 22 onto the A511 towards Ashby, then at the roundabout, take the second exit.
So one thing that I've noticed is a little bit absent is lane guidance. So it should have a list of all the lanes that are available, all the 5 lanes that are currently spread out in front of me. At the moment it hasn't. I don't know which roads are getting updated or whether certain modern roads have them and certain roads don't. At the moment you can see
in 170 yards at the roundabout,
you can see details like the second exit. This is new and wasn't
at
available
the roundabout
before.
Take the second exit onto the A511.
It takes up less room, the information screen. It has these 3 informational points down the bottom that have been visible before. How long you got left till you get there in minutes, the actual time you'll arrive, and the distance to your destination. You've now got the speed limits over here, so this is another new feature that's quite helpful. It's been available on other sat-navs for a long time, I'll give you that, but obviously I guess they're playing a little bit of catch-up. So you get speed limits now for the road you're on. So
half a mile at the roundabout, take the second exit onto the A511.
There you go. And so, and I think I'm not too sure if the directional compass was always there. There are a few other updates with iOS 11, but this is the main one, the most important feature, I guess, relative to Peugeot Traveller buyers, is the fact that, I think the sat-navs are as good as they've ever been from the phone manufacturers. I'm sure TomTom have got a load of other things as well, but this has traffic data as well through your existing contract. So as long as you've got a internet connection hooked up with your phone,
at the roundabout, take the second exit onto the A511.
You'll be fine. But anyway, it's a novel little update, and I think it's worth mentioning. In the future, there'll be more updates, more features, and more things. So it's good to know that your sat-nav system will stay current with your phone, versus the cars, which 3 or 5 or 8-year-old cars can have sat-nav systems that are worthless, really, can't they? You spend £1,000 on it, and after a few years,
keep left onto Beverage
everything's old. The map's old, the information's old, and it's just irrelevant. So it's good. All right, thank you. Right, on to the next part of the video, and here I want to discuss the tow bar mounted bicycle carrier that I bought for this Peugeot before the Peugeot even arrived. I really was excited about this. Now, I had some problems fitting it initially, and I was very upset and worried that I bought the wrong size tow bar for the car, because the clamping handle, which is what this thing uses to grip around the neck of the tow bar, as you can see in this image, didn't seem to be, seemed to be too wide. Only after grinding off of the thick plastic coating on the tow bar did I actually get it to clamp down. And then you can see in this picture, in the next picture, you've got, you can see it mounted there. I've plugged in the electric cables as well, so it can provide indicators and braking lights and so on to the rear lighting rig. And here you've got the picture of the car with it set up with 2 bikes on as well. So they're very easy, really easy to mount. You just put the bike on there, rest it in the grips, and then put these straps over. It's very, very good. And then it's got an arm that reaches out and clamps the crossbar on the bike as well. The Atera Strada comes in 3 bike versions with an optional 4th bike bracket as well. I bought this unit secondhand on eBay and got it with a 4 bike kit, and it's been really, really good. Fitting all 4 bikes isn't a problem. And you can see in this next picture, one of the big benefits is that you can, with your foot, you can press a little lever and pull all the bikes back to rest, and then you can access the boot of the car, which is massively helpful. Because of the amount of storage space in the back, you're probably going to want to need access to it as you travel up and down the country, wherever you're heading to. And the next thing I wanted to talk about after that was the roof bars. So in a previous video I mentioned about these roof bars, and I just wanted to show some videos of them actually fitted to the car. So I put this stuff onto my blog already, so there's already pictures up with all of this stuff you've seen. But for those that watch on YouTube, the final pictures here just show the unit all fitted and ready to go. So I've put the details on my blog of all the fitting packs that you need to buy from Thor to achieve this, and it works really, really well. They do make a little bit of a noise. You can hear them, but they're not too pronounced. I have the wing bar, which I thought was the most aerodynamic version of them, but you can still hear a little bit of noise. So that's why I don't have them on the car all the time. And it's really easy to remove them as well. You just undo the clamp with a key. This plastic cover that comes off, you can see that, and then you just with one screw, you just unscrew it, and the whole thing lifts off. I bought a large roof box from Halfords, and it fits really well. It's massive, but yeah, it doesn't have a problem sort of attaching at all. Okay. So the next issue that I wanted to raise to the audience rather, through a video was a problem that I've had on this car and that others have experienced as well. I know this because somebody commented on the blog about it. But this seems to be an issue with the auxiliary heater. Now, what happens is that when the car goes into stop-start mode, so either when you stop the car completely or you use stop-start mode and the engine goes off, you hear this horrible crackle noise from underneath the driver's seat. Now, it appears that something's happening underneath the car, and this video sort of explains and shows what's happening. I don't know what's going on. Contacts that somebody made with Peugeot have come up fruitless, really. So I'm still hoping that somebody else can provide some information. I'm loath to take it into Peugeot for them to just waste a whole day and do nothing with the car, because we use the car all the time, and it doesn't seem to be a major problem. The crackling stops after about 20-30 seconds at all. But nevertheless, it is a bit of a worry. So I'm going to put a blog post up about this as well, and hopefully we can get some feedback and a further video where maybe even have a fix as well. And the final shot, here we go, is of my car covered in ice and snow. So we've had a lot of snow. It's December 2017 here at this moment in England, and as you can see, we did have a problem this morning opening the doors, but obviously, you know, if the ice is covering the car and all the doors are stuck, then the electric motor is not going to be able to open the car, which is obvious. So you have to open it manually, which for a big door is very hard. You need to really give the whole thing a yank to get it open, but it did work. And then closing it was quite easy as well. But obviously, electric motors, you know, they can't, you know, they won't be able to put that much force on the door to open it against, you know, thick ice. But it's handling really well, and it was good fun. The traction control worked, and the ABS was fine, and everything was fine. So didn't have any problems manoeuvring the car, and it was great to be in there as well on these sort of snowy days we have. Okay, I don't have anything further to add, but I'll add another video in the future as more and more things sort of like, you know, occur during my ownership period with this vehicle. I hope you enjoyed listening, and yeah, take your time to like it if you enjoyed it as well. Thank you.